Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Welcome to Can Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yinru Li. In this lesson, you will learn how to talk about your family from a parent's perspective.
This is Karen Lee, and she's studying with her Chinese teacher, Lin Li. The teacher notices a picture on Karen's computer and asks, "Is this your family?"
这是你的家人吗？
Listen to the conversation and focus on the response. Ready?
这是你的家人吗？是的，这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
Once more with the English translation.
这是你的家人吗？
Is this your family?
是的，这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
Yes, it is. This is my husband, son, daughter, and me.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how the teacher asks, "Is this your family?"
这是你的家人吗？
First is
这、
this.
这、
Next is
是、
In this case, it's like the is in this is.
是、
After this is
你的、
meaning your.
你的、
There are two parts. First is
你、
you.
你、
Second is
的、
a possessive marking particle.
的、
Think of
的、
as a way to indicate possession. The word it follows possesses the thing that comes after it. In this sentence, it marks
你、
you as the possessor. Together,
你的、
your.
你的、
Next is
家人、
family.
家人、
This has two parts. First is
家、
home or family.
家、
Next is
人、
person or people.
人、
Together it's
家人、
literally home people, but translates as family.
家人、
Last is
吗？
this is a question marking particle. It turns a sentence into a question.
吗？
Altogether it's
这是你的家人吗？
this is your family, but it translates as is this your family?
这是你的家人吗？
Remember this question. You'll hear it again later.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Karen says, "Yes, it is. This is my husband, son, daughter, and me."
是的，这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
There are two parts to the response. First is
是的，
which translates as yes, it is, in this context.
是的，
This starts with
是
meaning yes, when responding to a yes-no question.
是
Note
是
is used to affirmatively answer questions that contain,
是
like,
这是你的家人吗？
is this your family? By replying with,
是
you are affirming the information in the question. It's followed by,
的
which in this case is a sentence final particle that indicates the speaker is certain about what he or she is saying.
的
Together
是的
is a set phrase meaning, yes, it is.
是的
Note, it is understood from context, as this is a response to the question. After this, Karen points to the picture and says,
这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
this is my husband, son, daughter, and me. First is
这
this.
这
Next is,
是
in this case, it's like the is in this is.
是
Together,
这是
this is.
这是
After this,
我的
meaning my.
我的
There are two parts. First is
我
I.
我
Next is
的
the possessive marking particle.
的
Together,
我的
my.
我的
Next is
先生
the formal way to say husband.
先生先生
Together,
我的先生
my husband.
我的先生
Next is
儿子
son.
儿子儿子
After this is
女儿
daughter.
女儿女儿
Next is
和
and.
和
Finally, she points at herself in the picture and says,
我
translating as me in this context.
我
Altogether, it's
这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
this is my husband, son, daughter, and me.
这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
The pattern is
这是我的 family member, family member, family member 和我。
this is my family member, family member, family member, and me. To use this pattern, simply replace the family member placeholders with your family members. Imagine your family members are your wife, son, daughter, and you. Wife is
太太太太太太
say, this is my wife, son, daughter, and me. Ready?
这是我的太太、儿子、女儿和我。
This is my wife, son, daughter, and me.
这是我的太太、儿子、女儿和我。
In this lesson, you learned two relatively formal words for husband and wife. 先生 husband and 太太 wife. In less formal situations, the following words are commonly used. 老公 husband 老公老公老婆 wife 老婆老婆
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
这是我的太太、儿子、女儿和我。这是我的太太、儿子、女儿和我。
这是我的太太、女儿和我。这是我的太太、女儿和我。
这是我的先生、儿子和我。这是我的先生、儿子和我。
这是我的先生，我的两个儿子和我。这是我的先生，我的两个儿子和我。
Did you notice how the last speaker indicates she has two sons?
这是我的先生，我的两个儿子和我。
This is my husband, my two sons, and me.
两个儿子，
Two sons.
两个儿子，
First,
两个，
literally means two counts of, or two of something, and is usually followed by a noun.
两个，
There are two parts.
两，
Two.
两，两，
Note, you might be familiar with another word for two.
二，两，
Is used when referring to the quantity of something. Next is
个，
a general measure word.
个，个，
In Chinese, think of a measure word as a counting word, which is used with a numeral to indicate the number of a noun. The pattern is numeral plus measure word plus noun. For example, in this case it's
两个儿子，
two sons
两
plus
个
plus.
儿子，
To say two daughters,
两个女儿，两个女儿，
you should be aware of the pattern to describe the number of children, but you will not need it for this lesson.
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then, repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say, yes, it is? 是的，是的。And how to say, me? 我 Do you remember how to say and? 和 And how to say daughter? 女儿 Do you remember how to say son? 儿子 儿子 and how to say husband. 先生先生 Do you remember how to say my husband? 我的先生我的先生 Do you remember how to say this? 这
Do you remember how Karen says, "Yes, it is. This is my husband, son, daughter, and me."
是的，这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。
是的，这是我的先生、儿子、女儿和我。Do you remember how to say family? 家人家人 And how to say your family? 你的家人你的家人 Do you remember how to say the question marking particle? 妈妈
And do you remember how the teacher asks, "Is this your family?"
这是你的家人吗？
这是你的家人吗 Do you remember the formal word for wife? 太太太太
Let's practice. Imagine you're Mark's colleague, Wei Wang. You have a wife and daughter. Respond to Mark's question referring to the photo. Don't forget to include "Yes, it is" at the beginning of your response. Ready?
这是你的家人吗？
是的，这是我的太太、女儿和我。
Listen again and repeat.
是的，这是我的太太、女儿和我。是的，这是我的太太、女儿和我。
Let's try another. This is Mark's boss, Yi Yang. You have a husband, daughter, and son. Ready?
这是你的家人吗？
是的，这是我的先生、女儿、儿子和我。
Listen again and repeat.
是的，这是我的先生、女儿、儿子和我。是的，这是我的先生、女儿、儿子和我。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Mark's friend, Mei Lan Ma. You have a husband and son. Ready?
这是你的家人吗？
是的，这是我的先生、儿子和我。
Listen again and repeat.
是的， 这是我的先生、儿子和我。是的，这是我的先生、儿子和我。
This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. What's next? Show us what you can do. When you're ready, take your assessment. You can take it again and again, so try any time you like. Our teachers will assess it and give you your results.
Now you know how to talk about your family in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to talk about your family in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Welcome to Can-Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yinru Li. In this lesson, you will learn how to use parting greetings.
This is Karen Lee, and she's talking with her former homestay mother, Xiaoyun Xu. As Karen says goodbye, her children join her in saying goodnight. Focus on the way each person says goodbye.
再见。晚安。
晚安。
晚安，拜拜。
Once more with the English translation.
再见。
See you again.
晚安。
Good night.
晚安。
Good night.
晚安，拜拜。
Good night. Bye-bye.
Let's take a closer look at each of these expressions.
First, do you remember how Karen says, see you again?
再见。
This starts with
在
meaning again.
在
Next is
见
to see.
见
Together
再见
literally means again to see, but it translates as see you again.
再见。
再见
Can be used in both formal and informal situations. Do you remember how Sasha says, good night?
晚安。
Good night.
晚安晚安
First is
晚
which means night in this context.
晚
Next is
安
safe or peaceful.
安
Together
晚安，
literally means night safe or night peaceful, but translates as good night.
晚安，
晚安，
Is used when you don't plan on seeing someone again that night, most likely before they go to bed. Both Sasha and Ben use this expression to say good night to Xiao Yun Shu. Do you remember how Xiao Yun says, good night, bye bye?
晚安，拜拜。
The first part is the same expression Sasha and Ben use,
晚安，
good night.
晚安，
The second part,
拜拜，
bye bye.
拜拜，
This expression comes from the English bye bye. Listen again to the pronunciation.
拜拜，拜拜，拜拜，
Is often used in informal situations with close friends and with younger people. Altogether,
晚安，拜拜，
good night, bye bye.
晚安，拜拜。
Let's look at the parting greetings once more. Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. 再见，再见。晚安，晚安，晚安，拜拜。晚安，拜拜，拜拜，拜拜。下次见。下次见。Did you notice the last parting greeting I used? 下次见。
See you next time.
下次见，
First is
下次，
next time.
下次，
Next is
见，
to see.
见，
Together,
下次见，
literally, next time to see. But it translates as see you next time.
下次见。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say see you again? 再见。再见。And how to say good night? 晚安。晚安。Do you remember how to say bye bye? Bye bye. Bye bye.
Let's practice. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you're talking with Xiao Yun. Respond by saying, good night. Ready?
晚安，
晚安，
Listen again and repeat.
晚安， 晚安，
Let's try another. Imagine you're Sasha Lee, and you're finishing class. Respond by saying, bye bye. Ready?
拜拜， 拜拜，
Listen again and repeat.
拜拜， 拜拜。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Ben Lee, and you're finishing coffee with your college friend, Lou. Respond by saying, "See you again." Ready?
再见，
再见，
Listen again and repeat.
再见， 再见。
This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. What's next? Show us what you can do. When you're ready, take your assessment. You can take it again and again, so try any time you like. Our teachers will assess it and give you your results.
Now you know how to use basic parting greetings in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to use basic parting greetings in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Welcome to Can-Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yinru Li. In this lesson, you will learn essential Chinese social expressions such as thank you.
This is Ben Lee, and he's on the train. A fellow passenger drops his wallet as he exits the train. Ben picks up the wallet and chases after the man. He calls to the man by saying, "Sir, please, wait a minute."
先生，请等一下。
Listen to the following 3 short dialogues between Ben and the man.
先生，请等一下。
怎么了？
Ben hands the man the wallet.
谢谢你。
不客气。
Ben turns to board the train, but the door's shut.
不好意思。
没事儿。
Once more with the English translation.
先生，请等一下。
Sir, please wait a minute.
怎么了？
What's the matter? Ben hands the man the wallet.
谢谢你。
Thank you.
不客气。
Don't mention it. Ben turns to board the train, but the door's shut.
不好意思。
Sorry.
没事儿。
It's okay.
Let's take a closer look at these 3 conversations.
First, do you remember how Ben Lee says, "Sir, please wait a minute"?
先生，请等一下。
First is
先生，
Sir or Mr.
先生，先生，
Note, it can be used alone, such as in this case, or as a polite suffix following a name. Next is,
请等一下，
please wait a minute.
请等一下，
This has three parts. First is,
请，
please.
请，请，
Next is,
等，
to wait.
等，等，
Finally,
一下，
meaning something like a bit, as in, please wait a bit.
一下，一下，一下，
is an everyday phrase used with a verb to describe a brief action, and often to soften a command or request. In this sentence,
一下，
follows
等，
to wait. Together
等一下，
means to wait for a bit, or to wait a minute.
等一下，
Altogether,
先生，请等一下，
sir, please wait a minute.
先生，请等一下。
Do you remember how the passenger responds by saying, "What's the matter?"
怎么了？
怎么了？
What's the matter?
怎么了？
Note, this is a set phrase that can translate as, "What's the matter?" "What's wrong?" "What happened?" It's used when you don't know what has happened. In this case, the speaker wants to know why he was called. The second part of the conversation takes place after Ben returns the passenger's wallet. Do you remember how the passenger says, "Thank you"?
谢谢你。
This expression has two parts. First is,
谢谢，
thanks, or thank you.
谢谢，谢谢，
Next is,
你，
you.
你，你，
In most cases,
谢谢，
is enough to express gratitude. By following
谢谢，
with,
你，
it expresses a more personal and heartfelt appreciation in a subtle way. However, the meaning doesn't change. Altogether,
谢谢你，
thank you.
谢谢你。
Do you remember how Ben says, "Don't mention it"?
不客气。
This expression can be divided into two parts. First is,
不，
meaning not.
不，不，
It is used to negate verbs and adjectives. Pronunciation note. When
不，
is followed by a fourth tone, its tone changes from the fourth tone to the second tone. Listen to the pronunciation again.
不客气，
Next is
客气，
courteous. More specifically, to treat someone with hospitality and formality.
客气，客气，
Together,
不客气，
literally means no need to be courteous, no need for the formalities, but often translates as don't mention it, or you're welcome.
不客气。
不客气，
is a common response to the phrase,
谢谢，
after the train doors shut and Ben misses his train. Do you remember how the passenger apologizes to Ben by saying, "Sorry"?
不好意思。
In this case, the expression is used to apologize for causing Ben inconvenience. Let's start with
好意思，
literally good meaning or good intention, but together it's a phrase meaning to feel no shame.
好意思，
First is
好，
meaning good.
好，
Next is
意思，
meaning.
意思，
Before the phrase is
不，
meaning not.
不，不，
Altogether,
不好意思，
literally not feel no shame. In other words, ashamed or embarrassed.
不好意思。
The speaker feels ashamed or embarrassed for causing Ben inconvenience. So the phrase means sorry in this case.
不好意思，不好意思，
Do you remember how Ben replies, "It's okay"?
没事儿，
First is
没
not or have not.
没
Next is
事儿
matter or issue.
事儿事儿
Together,
没事儿
literally means no issues, but it translates as it's okay.
没事儿
没事儿，
没事儿
is a common response to apologies, but it is sometimes used to respond to thank you as well.
In addition to 不好意思, another commonly used expression to say sorry is 对不起. It consists of 3 characters. 对 to face, 不 not, 起 literally to rise, but to be able to do something in this case. Together, 对不起 means something like unable to face you, but it translates as I'm sorry. 对不起. This is a stronger apology than 不好意思. Use it when you've done something wrong you feel strongly about. 对不起. You can use it as a standalone phrase or together with longer phrases. In addition to 不客气, another common way to respond to thank you is 不用谢. You're welcome. 不用谢. 不用 means no need. 不用. And 谢 to thank. 谢. Together it's 不用谢. Literally, no need to thank, but translates as you're welcome. 不用谢 and 不客气 are interchangeable. It's up to you which one to use. Let's look at the expressions once more. Listen and repeat, or speak along with me. 请等一下. 请等一下. 怎么了? 怎么了? 谢谢你. 谢谢你. 不客气. 不客气. 不好意思. 不好意思. 没事儿. 没事儿. 对不起. 对不起. Did you notice the last expression I used? 对不起. "对不起."
Sorry. You learned about this expression in the Cultural Insight section. A common response to this expression is
没关系
Don't worry about it.
没关系，
First is
没
to not or to not have.
没
Next is
关系
relationship.
关系
Together
没关系
literally means to not have a relationship, but it translates as don't worry about it in this context.
没关系
Note, you can also use
没关系
to respond to someone's apology. You should be aware of this commonly used phrase, but you won't need it for this lesson.
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then, repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say please? 请 And how to say wait? 等
Do you remember how Ben says, "Please wait a minute"?
请等一下。
请等一下
And how the passenger says, "What's the matter?"
怎么了？
怎么了
Do you remember how the passenger says, "Thank you"?
谢谢你。
谢谢你 Do you remember how to say don't mention it? 不客气
Do you remember how the passenger says, "Sorry"?
不好意思。
不好意思
Do you remember how Ben says, "It's okay"?
没事儿。
没事儿
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen Lee, and you receive a popular Chinese candy from your Chinese teacher, Lin Li. Say thank you. Ready?
谢谢你，
不客气，
Listen again and repeat.
谢谢你，谢谢你，
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mark Lee. A passenger bumps into you. Respond by saying, "It's okay." Ready?
不好意思。
没事儿，
Listen again and repeat.
没事儿，没事儿，
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you see a man drop his wallet. Politely ask him to wait a minute. Ready?
请等一下，
怎么了？
Listen again and repeat.
请等一下，请等一下。
This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. What's next? Show us what you can do. When you're ready, take your assessment. You can take it again and again, so try anytime you like. Our teachers will assess it and give you your results.
Now you know how to use essential social expressions in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to use essential social expressions in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Welcome to Can-Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李嫣如。Hi everyone, I'm Yanru Li. In this lesson, you will learn how to ask for clarification.
This is Sasha Lee, and she meets her neighbor, Haoran Huang, for the first time in the lobby of their building. Haoran Huang introduces himself by saying, "Hello, my name is Haoran Huang."
你好，我叫黄浩然。
Sasha can't catch his name and asks for clarification. Listen to the conversation and focus on Sasha's request. Ready?
你好，我叫黄浩然。
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
黄浩然。
Once more with the English translation.
你好，我叫黄浩然。
Hello, my name is Haoran Huang.
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
Sorry, please say it one more time. Please say it slowly.
黄浩然。
Huang, Haoran.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Haoran introduces himself?
你好，我叫黄浩然。
First is
你好，
meaning hello.
你好，你好，
When meeting someone for the first time, you often start with
你好，
it can be used in both formal and informal situations. Next is
我叫黄浩然，
my name is Haoran Huang.
我叫黄浩然，我叫黄浩然，
First is
我
I.
我
Next is
叫
meaning to be called in this context.
叫
Together
我叫
literally means I'm called, but translates as my name is.
我叫
Next is the neighbor's full name.
黄浩然，
First is his family name,
黄
followed by his given name.
浩然，
For Chinese names, the order is family name followed by given names. Altogether, it's
你好，我叫黄浩然，
Hello, my name is Haoran Huang.
你好， 我叫黄浩然。
Sasha can't catch his name. Do you remember how she asks, "Sorry, please say it one more time. Please say it slowly."
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
First is,
不好意思，
which literally means to be embarrassed, but it translates as sorry in this context.
不好意思，不好意思，
Next is,
请再说一遍，
please say it one more time.
请再说一遍。
This has several parts. First is,
请
please.
请请
After this is,
再
again.
再再
Next is,
说
say, as in, please say it again.
说说
Last is,
一遍
meaning one time.
一遍一遍，
Altogether,
请再说一遍。
literally means, please again say one time, but it translates as, please say it one more time.
请再说一遍，
The last part of Sasha's response is,
请说慢一点儿，
please say it slowly. First is,
请
please.
请
Next is,
说
say.
说
After that is,
慢
slow.
慢慢
And finally,
一点儿
meaning a little.
一点儿一点儿。
Pronunciation note. People in the north part of China tend to pronounce this as
一点儿一点儿
combining
慢
with
一点儿慢一点儿
means slow down a bit or slowly.
慢一点儿慢一点儿，
Altogether, it's
请说慢一点儿。
literally, please say slow a little, but translates as, please say it slowly.
请说慢一点儿。
Sasha's whole response is,
不好意思，请再说一遍，请说慢一点儿。
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
Finally, Haoran replies by stating his name again.
黄浩然。
Huang Haoran.
Let's look at the expressions once more. Listen and repeat. 不好意思，不好意思。请再说一遍，请再说一遍。请说慢一点，请说慢一点。不好意思，请再说一遍。不好意思，请再说一遍。不好意思，请再说一遍，请说慢一点。不好意思，请再说一遍，请说慢一点。能再说一遍吗？ 能再说一遍吗？ Did you notice how I used a different expression? 能再说一遍吗？
Can you say it one more time?
能再说一遍吗？
This request starts with
能
meaning can, as in to be able.
能
And it ends with
吗
the question marking particle, indicating question.
吗能吗
Sentence pattern is used to make a polite request. Note the answer to a
吗
question should confirm or negate the verb. In this case, yes, you can, or no, you can't. Between
能
and
吗
is what we've learned earlier.
再说一遍
Say it one more time.
再说一遍
Together,
能再说一遍吗
can you say it one more time? Or could you say it one more time?
能再说一遍吗
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say sorry? 不好意思，不好意思。And how to say one time? 一遍，一遍。Do you remember how to say to say? 说，说。And how to say again? 在，在。Do you remember how to say please? 请，请。
Do you remember how Sasha Lee says, "Sorry, please say it one more time"?
不好意思，请再说一遍。
不好意思，请再说一遍。Do you remember how to say slow? 慢，慢。And how to say a little? 一点，一点。Do you remember how to say slowly? 慢一点，慢一点。
Do you remember how Sasha asks, "Please say it slowly"?
请说慢一点。
请说慢一点。Do you remember how to say hello? 你好，你好。
Do you remember how Hao Ran introduces himself?
你好，我叫黄浩然。
你好，我叫黄浩然。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben Lee. Hao Ran introduces himself, but you can't catch his name. Start with sorry and ask him to please say it again. Ready?
你好，我叫黄浩然。
不好意思， 请再说一遍。
Listen again and repeat.
不好意思，请再说一遍。 不好意思，请再说一遍。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Haoran. Ask Karen Lee to say it slowly. Start with sorry. Ready?
你好，我叫凯伦里。
不好意思，请说慢一点。
Listen again and repeat.
不好意思，请说慢一点。 不好意思，请说慢一点。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Haoran. Ask Sasha Lee to say it again and to say it slowly. Start with sorry. Ready?
你好，我叫萨莎里。
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
Listen again and repeat.
不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。 不好意思，请再说一遍。请说慢一点。
This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. What's next? Show us what you can do. When you're ready, take your assessment. You can take it again and again, so try any time you like. Our teachers will assess it and give you your results.
Now you know how to ask for clarification in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to ask for clarification in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
您好，我找负责人。
好的，稍等一下。
Once more with the English translation.
您好，我找负责人。
Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's
您好，您好，
then you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is
我找
person. This Chinese sentence literally translates as, Hello, I look for person, but it means I'd like to speak with person. For example, Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
您好，我找负责人。您好，我找负责人。
Now, how do you answer this question?
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again.
好的，稍等一下。好的，稍等一下。
This Chinese sentence literally translates as, Okay, wait a bit, but it means, Okay, just a moment. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge,
负责人，负责人，
a sales representative,
销售代表，销售代表，
the manager,
经理，经理，
customer service,
客服，客服，
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
我找销售代表。
好的，稍等一下。
我找经理。
好的，稍等一下。
我找客服。
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person?
我找
Person. And how do you answer it?
好的，稍等一下。
Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say, a sales representative?
销售代表。销售代表。
Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative.
我找销售代表。
Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it.
我找销售代表。
好的，稍等一下。
Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say, the manager?
经理。经理。
Say, I'd like to speak with the manager.
我找经理。
Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it.
我找经理。
好的，稍等一下。
Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service?
客服。客服。
Say, I'd like to speak with customer service.
我找客服。
Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it.
我找客服。
好的，稍等一下。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk on the phone. You're now able to answer the phone like a native speaker. Start by practicing in the comments below. Tell us and your fellow learners whom you'd like to call. Lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and download your PDF cheat sheets. You'll get useful phrases you need for everyday life for free. See you in the next lesson. Bye!
In this video, you'll learn 20 of the most common words and phrases in Chinese. Hi, everybody. My name is Wu Rui. Welcome to the 800 Core Chinese Words and Phrases video series. This series will teach you the 800 most common words and phrases in Chinese. But there's a twist. With each new lesson in this series, we include the previous lessons at the end, so after you've learned the new words and phrases, stick around and review what you learned in previous lessons. Reviewing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. You can also get the full list right now at ChineseClass101.com. Click the link in the description to access more example sentences, create your own flashcard deck, and finally master Chinese. Okay, let's get started. First is 直升飞机 helicopter 直升飞机直升飞机 helicopter 你坐过直升飞机吗？ Have you ever flown in a helicopter? 你坐过直升飞机吗？黑色 black 黑色黑色 black 黑色的猫从屏幕里穿过。The black cat is walking across the screen. 黑色的猫从屏幕里穿过。咖啡色 brown 咖啡色咖啡色 brown 她的头发是咖啡色的。Her hair is brown. 她的头发是咖啡色的。灰色 gray 灰色灰色 gray 我买了一条灰色的领带。I bought a gray tie. 我买了一条灰色的领带。休息 rest 休息休息 rest 我不需要休息。I don't need to rest. 我不需要休息。听见 hear 听见听见 hear 我听见他在漱口。I hear him gargling. 我听见他在漱口。想要 want 想要 想要 want 他想要移民去美国 He wants to emigrate to America 他想要移民去美国恶心 disgusting 恶心恶心 disgusting 哟，真恶心！你西服怎么了 ？Oh, disgusting! What happened to your suit? 哟，真恶心！你西服怎么了？11 11 11 11这家百货商店有11层楼。This department store has 11 floors. 这家百货商店有11层楼。12 12 12 12我们中午12点在酒店见面吧。Let's meet at 12 noon at the hotel. 我们中午12点在酒店见面吧。13 13 13 13 他13岁。He is 13 years old. 他13岁。电子邮件 email 电子邮件电子邮件 email 你有电子邮件地址吗 Do you have an email address? 你有电子邮件地址吗手机 cellular phone 手机手机 cellular phone 女人用手机传了短信 The woman texted on her cellular phone 女人用手机传了短信短信 text message 短信短信 text message 发短信吧 Send a text message 发短信吧嘴 mouth 嘴嘴 mouth 请张开嘴巴 Please open your mouth 请张开嘴巴脸颊 cheek 脸颊脸颊 cheek 小孩的脸颊红红的 The child's cheeks are red 小孩的脸颊红红的鼻子 nose 鼻子 鼻子 nose 我的鼻子流血了 My nose is bleeding 我的鼻子流血了本子 notebook 本子本子 notebook 请问一下这个本子多少钱呢 Excuse me, how much is this notebook? 请问一下这个本子多少钱呢铅笔 pencil 铅笔铅笔 pencil 你的铅笔在这 Here is a pencil 你的铅笔在这橡皮 eraser 橡皮橡皮 eraser 这块橡皮很好用 This eraser really works well 这块橡皮很好用 Well done! In this lesson, you expanded your vocabulary and learned 20 new useful words. Click the link in the description and sign up for free at ChineseClass101.com to get access to the full list of vocabulary you need for daily life conversations. You'll also get example sentences, custom flashcard decks, and more learning resources. See you next time. 再见.
Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.